Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Today we are continuing on with my 14 and Pregnant series. So I'm doing my recovery process today. If you have not watched my 14 and Pregnant video or my labor and delivery video, please pause this and go watch them two first. That way you're kind of caught up on what's going on and the background to my story. Sorry that the background and lighting is different. I'm at my house and not my studio. I am going to be investing in good quality lighting very soon, but a little on the broke side right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it. So if you're new here or old here, welcome back. Thank you guys for watching, and be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe before you leave. And just a little side note, if my voice sounds very scratchy or not normal, it's because I'm attempting to get a sore throat, and hopefully it don't turn into a cold. But just don't mind that, and let's just jump right in. Okay guys, so today I am doing my recovery process. It was horrible. If this video is a little bit more scattered out than the other ones, I do apologize. I did not take notes, so I have no specific order. I'm going in just off of my memory this time. Usually I like to be a little bit more organized and prepared, but it has been such a busy week that I have forgot to pre-film. I have forgot to sit down and organize my videos like I usually do, because I like to be very planned out with what I'm going to say. Not very much scripted, just key points that I want to hit. So, if we a little out of place today, please forgive me. In my last video, I left off at us coming home. We came home on a Thursday, and I was very sore at this point. Very sore, because I had tore, and from where they gave my epidural solo in my back kind of ached as well. So we got home on a Thursday, did not sleep the whole first night we were home. I was literally so stressed out and scared that I could not sleep. Every move that my child made, I was up in his crib, well, his bassinet, because it was right beside my bed the first night. But I did not get any sleep, so I was very exhausted the next day. And the next day was his very first checkup. So usually after you have a baby, you have a short amount of time that they want to see your baby, just to make sure everything is going well after the first few days home, and make sure they're not losing too much weight, yada yada yada. So we went to his first appointment. He was perfectly fine. All that went good. I think that was the first time I'd been out of the house since I got home from the hospital, and it was a struggle, like a big time struggle, because I was starting to swell, and I just could not walk right because I had tore and everything was stitched up and everything was just swollen. For the overall 6-week period, I stayed at home a lot during this time. I was not able to go to school. I was able to get maternity leave from school, so each week my mom would go to my school, pick up any work that I needed to catch up on, and I would do it at home. So basically I was self-teaching myself at home. So yes, I was able to self-teach myself at home the first 6 weeks, because I really needed that time to recover, especially after how much stress I was in from delivering and how much I tore and just how much I was swelling all together. So that was a good thing that I did not get behind on my academics, because school was very important to me, and I was able to maintain my grades through those 6 weeks. So that was a plus. From where I got the birth control shot before I left the hospital, it started to affect my legs. My legs would get really weak. I mean, to the point that I would almost collapse on the ground. I remember one time I was taking Bentley to his bedroom after giving him a bath, and I think he was a few weeks old at this point, and literally made it to the middle of his bedroom. I had to hurry up and put him in his crib and just sit down, because my legs just, oh my goodness, they hurt, and they just felt like jello. So I really think that birth control, the depot shot, really took a toll on my body, and I don't know what else could have caused that, but I'm pretty sure that it was the depot shot. So within these first 6 weeks of recovery, I pretty much immediately bounced back. I still was a little pudgy and swollen, but that's completely normal. But by the end of the 6 weeks, I was way down past my baby weight. Like, I had lost all my baby weight and then some. So at this point, I think I weighed about 95 pounds, which is not a good thing. My doctor was a little concerned about it. But what made him even more concerned was when I decided to go on a fast food diet and try to gain weight that way. And I was 14 and my cholesterol was terrible. He told me to stop that real quick. So basically, I just had to wait years before I was back up to my pre-baby weight. And it really took a long time. Like, having a baby and pregnancy. Oh!
I just struck the pasture I watched.
Whew. Whew. As far as my swelling, it was really bad from the epidural and me ripping. I was swollen from literally the middle of my back to the middle of my thighs and everything in between. And honestly, I was so swollen in my back that I could not walk up straight. Like, I had to hunch over and like an old lady. And my mom was so scared that I was never going to be able to walk normal again. Like, she thought I was going to have to walk like that for the rest of my life because I was just that swollen. And oh my God, it was horrible. Like, my back would ache from where I could not sit up right. Like I said, I didn't really go out in public. I just really rested and took care of him and did my schoolwork. So my recovery really took me the entire 6 weeks. Like, I was finally able to walk right again, and all this one had went down like a week before I went back to school after my maternity leave. So I was so thankful for that because I was so scared I was going to have to go to school like that. So thank you, Lord, that all that subsided and I was back to myself by the end of those few weeks. As far as taking care of my newborn, it was a struggle. And I mean, you get sleep deprived, you get me time deprived, like, everything changes in your life and it is no longer about you. And honestly, my mom, she did not help me. She was also working third shift, so my grandma would come over and stay with us just so we had an adult there with a car in case, you know, something happened and maybe he spiked a fever or got sick and we needed to hurry up and get to the doctor. We could by my grandma. So my mom worked third shift, so nobody helped me. And he was a pretty good baby, but some nights he just didn't sleep good. And I remember one night specifically that he woke up and he was just crying and crying and crying. I had fed him, changed him, everything that I could possibly think of. Gave him gas drops, you know, rocked him on his belly, rubbed his belly, tried to rock him to sleep, and nothing was working for this child. Let me tell you, I was bawling my eyes out with him. Like, I was so tired and just so sleep deprived and just did not know what to do that I was just rocking him and crying with him. It's very difficult at such a young age, especially when you're the only one taking care of him. But like I said in my previous video, my mom did finally help me after he turned a year old. But the reason she didn't help me much the first year is because she wanted to give me a taste of what it was like. And it really taught me a lot. And I'm so thankful that she did that for me. Because like I said, it taught me a lot of responsibility. And definitely made me not want to have any more kids anytime soon. My son was my saving grace, and I do not regret him. And there's no telling where my life would be if I didn't have him. And he got circumcised within that first 6 weeks as well. And I actually was able to go back there with him to get circumcised. Let me tell you, do not recommend that. Like, let the doctors just take your baby and circumcised them because it was an experience. So they were like getting him prepped, and they were feeding him sugar water. As a newborn, sugar water is like a narcotic, and it just relaxes them. So as the doctor began the procedure, he was like, okay, do not look down. And you know, when someone tells you don't do something, you automatically want to do that. So I looked down, and I had to sit down. Like, I was about to pass out because how nasty it was. And because I looked down right as he was snipping, and I was like, oh God. So I had to sit on the floor because I about fainted. And then he's like, well, why did you look down when I told you not to? Because you told me not to. Duh. Yeah, if I ever had another little boy, I would never go back in that room with them. I would just let the doctor do his thing. I think that is about it. Like, all in all, the recovery was... I think what made it so difficult with him was the swelling, the stitches, because them things hurt, and then when they begin to heal, they start itching really bad, and that is a place you don't want to be itching at. I got some funny stories about that, but that's TMI on here and kind of embarrassing, so not gonna share that. But they hurt and they itch. My whole leg issues was really hard for me too, because it was so hard for me to walk. You know, once I was able to get out of the house, we did take him and like visit family and stuff like that, and all in all, he was a really good baby. But it's just really hard at that age, once again, like being so young and trying to take care of this itty bitty little baby is just, it is so hard. But it's so rewarding and teaches you so many things. And you know, thinking back, during that time, like, I didn't really talk to a whole lot of friends. Like, maybe one or two checked in on me and him. But other than that, I didn't talk to a lot of people. So, I think that wraps this video up. I can't really think of anything else that I want to share. I mean, there was a lot that really happened as soon as I got home. But I'm not really sharing all that right now. So, this portion of the video is very short. And maybe one day I'll share the rest. But I'm not too sure about that. So, for today, that is all I have for you guys. Stay tuned for next week, because it's going to get into the life of a teen mom and like how I dealt with it, what happened, how going back to actual school was, and juggling having a kid. So stay tuned for that. Also, I will be doing a Teen Mom Q&A very soon. So if you have any questions that you might want to have answered, just comment them below. That way I can answer them in that video. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, or if you liked the previous videos that I did, please give them all a big thumbs up and subscribe before you leave. I love you guys. Thank you so much for the support, and I will see you next time.